Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Here's how I gained 15 miles per hour of ball speed in just 4 weeks. This process of me gaining 15 miles an hour in ball speed in 30 days has no speed training attached to it. So that's why I wanted to make this video, because I think this could be a fix that you guys could instill yourself. So we're gonna go through and break down the 3 things that I did to increase my ball speed. Now, number 1, hip rotation. This is something that I did not have any of when I started this process. My hips would stay basically square to the ball, and my thinking was that staying over top of the ball was paramount. Anytime I would either lift up out, I would obviously hit it thin or slice it, or if I would come through steep, I would hit down and hit behind the ball. So as a newer golfer, my thought process was I need to stay over top of the ball. Well, I think what that translated to is my body literally staying directly over top of it. My hip, my shoulders, my chest, everything was pointed down at the golf ball. And what that created was a swing that had really no rotation. So upon hearing from you guys in the comments and talking to other friends, I realized that hip rotation was key for me. So the first trick I implemented in trying to increase my ball speed was to take my right hip and try to pull it back in the backswing. And then as I come through, driving it through. Very simple. That right pocket pulling as far back as it can and then driving through as far as it can on impact. And that was tip number 1. And that alone netted me an extra like 5 to 10 miles per hour in ball speed. You can see here that I went and I retested my ball speed about 2 weeks into this process, and I had already gone from 140 to about 150. Now you have to remember, these are peak numbers. My average ball speed, like in play ball speed before all of this, I was cruising maybe at 130, 135. That 140 you see was me trying to hit the ball hard. That was a peak ball speed. But when I would play sim golf on the indoor simulator, I would consistently see 130 to 135 ball speed. So that drastic jump, even just with the hip rotation to a top ball speed around 150, was massive. However, there was lots of room for improvement left. The second thing I decided to tackle was adding a backswing, because I did not realize that with the little rotation, I was also only completing like maybe a half backswing. A lot of people will comment on my videos being like, oh, it's such a nice compact movement. That wasn't my intention. I wasn't trying to do this on purpose. It was just the natural pattern that my body was used to from not rotating over top of the golf ball. So the second thing was trying to add some torso rotation, actually turning my shoulders and allowing my arms to track back. And then with that, the third and final thing I implemented was trying to get some wrist hinge in the golf swing. Now this was something that I had heard said a million times. Wrist hinge and lag. These were 2 buzzwords that were showing up in my comment section all the time, and I didn't really know what they meant. But through trial and error, and then talking to my good friend Tyson, the CPGA Tour player you guys have seen on the channel before, he showed me kind of how to extend that left arm and allow the wrist to hinge in order for that club to drop back into a proper position. What driving that club back did was obviously it added the hinge to the wrist, which drastically helped increase the ball speed coming through impact, because I can release the club instead of just having it stuck. But I also created a bit more leg in my swing. Now this is something that obviously I am actively still trying to develop and will take time, but having that wrist hinge and that club actually coming back over my shoulder has allowed a bit of leg to come into my swing. So that brings us to where we are today, which was earlier this morning. I went down to a TrackMan facility, House of Golf here in Vancouver, and I tested my max ball speed. Now we're going to go through some of those shots, and you will see on screen I peaked out my ball speed at 155 miles per hour, which is actually insane. In 4 weeks with 0 speed training to go up 15 miles an hour, in my mind, that's crazy, especially as someone who has never played a fast twitch sport. I was never a fast twitch fiber guy. I was not a 100-meter sprinter. I was like a mile plus effort. Like I can go pretty fast for a sizable period of time, but I'm not that like 40-yard dash athlete, and I've never been. So not having any fast twitch fibers and still being able to tack on 15 miles an hour top speed was awesome. However, what got me even more excited today was that I was cruising at 150 miles an hour. Not trying to swing overly hard, really trying to focus on just getting that leg, letting that wrist hinge at the top, which I very much still need to work on and perfect, but it was creating a cruising speed of 150 miles per hour, which really makes a dramatic difference of cruising at 130 to 135 to now 150. That is absolutely out of this world compared to the 130 that I was carrying. So realistically, I've added 20 miles per hour of ball speed to my swing. The top end number going from 140 to 155 in 4 weeks is something that I think you guys can achieve, and not something that you need to do just with speed training. However, that is definitely my next avenue. So if you guys have any tips on how to train for speed, I'm thinking stacked golf system, I'm thinking, you know, that swing weight that you saw Matt Fitzpatrick talking about after he won the Open, things of that nature, drop it down into the comments below. But my golf game really is not one that I'm overly concerned about adding speed to at all costs. I hit the ball far enough. Even before this, I could still in summer conditions get the ball out there like 250 to 300, somewhere in that range. And now with the swing differences, I'm probably going to be able to hit pretty consistently close to 300 yards with rollout in summer conditions. And I think that's plenty. I think I can hit the ball in play. My swing and my game feels very gameable right now. I feel very in control of the golf ball. I feel like when I want to hit nice little cuts, I can. That is my stock shot. If I need to try to shape something right to left, I can. And I have a short game that really kind of bails me out if I do tend to miss greens. So with that, I don't feel a burning desire to add speed just for speed's sake. That's really an ego play for a lot of golfers. But this is something I know can be a huge advantage. Playing with Tyson, CPGA Tour player, I see what hitting the ball 320, 340 can do in giving you little flip wedges in. And as someone with a pretty strong short game relative to the rest of my game, that is something that would be an advantage. So it is something I will look at over time. But for the time being, I'm absolutely stoked at these results. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think I could do to improve the swing even more. I can't wait to continue to document this journey for you guys. I'll see you in the next one.